Hello, this is Eiríkur Hauksson, singer from ARTCH, and
Brent Jansen, the bass player from the same band.
and by the way, you're watching Stormbringer, the Austrian heavy sign.
Guys, it's has been 30 years since another return came out, and
Oh my God.
and yeah, that's what I thought, because it was one of the first records I heard back then, and I heard it like 2 weeks ago, and it's still there. It's still a hammer record. What do you think when you hear it today?
I'm still very proud of it. It was a fantastic debut album. So it's not getting old. I can agree on that. It's still good, still very good.
What's your opinion on hearing your own album 30 years later?
Yeah, I mean, it was songs we've been working on for some years prior to the release, and it was coincidence that happened, and sort of a little bit of magic, which you can still hear when you listen to it today.
Because I was living in Iceland at that time, and I was sent cassettes with the riffs, and I did the melodies and the vocals, and it turned out that on some places I did melodies on parts that were supposed to be a guitar solo. So it was always excitement in it. It was a great way to work, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you moved from Iceland to Norway actually for the band.
I moved to Norway when we got a contract with Metal Blade, and we were getting ready for the second album. So, and I was going to try it for a year, but I'm still there.
Yeah, but it's a life decision. I mean, nobody resettles somewhere else because of a band that's maybe up and coming, but maybe not. You know, you haven't known back then, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely. I still travel to Iceland like 10 times a year to do some gigs there. Yeah. So I keep the contact. Yeah.
And the second album, it just came out in Norway and Japan, is right? Back then. Why was that?
I actually don't know. I can't remember why. But maybe it was the contract. We had a Metal Blade contract for the second album, but maybe not the European one. So, and when it was released, the band already started to fade, so there wasn't much work done after the release for the Sake of Mankind.
Why do you think was the band fading away slowly?
I think we had too high expectation. Having written the contract with Metal Blade, we were excited, and they told us, guys, you're going on a tour, major tour with Judas Priest, blah blah blah. But they sort of put us on a shelf, and we just stayed there. They did nothing for the record, and I think that took the power from us, really. That's the main reason.
Yeah, and we felt it was minor support, and back then there was no internet. It was just you had to make a phone call to if you had questions, and we felt there was nothing more to do, actually. And then grunge came like a hit in the face.
Killed everything.
What's that? We're old.
But you came together in 99, I guess. On which occasion was that?
It was an anniversary for a magazine in Norway called Scream Magazine, who had the 50th anniversary, 50th edition release of its magazine. And then they just asked if we wanted to play on their celebration gig together with some other bands. And we did, except for the drummer, who was busy with his career back then, so we had a replacement for him. But it was just a one-off gig back then. And after that we had more one-off gigs.
So the spirit came back again slowly.
Without any pressure. We weren't existing really, but still getting questions about, can you come to the States, can you come to Germany? So we've made jokes about it. We actually played more after we quit than we did when we were still alive.
Yeah, so. Maybe because the pressure wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, and it's I mean, the nostalgia. When we did our second album, as Brent said, it was maybe a wrong period. Now power metal is back on its feet, and
that's what I thought when I heard the album again. It's a real power metal album just before power metal really started off.
Yeah, I mean, we were influenced by maybe bands like Halloween, Iron Maiden, obviously, Metallica, Anthrax, and a bit of that thrash we were listening to back then. But most of it came from the basics, like Eric is a huge Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, all these.
Of course, the rock is the foundation of it all. Yeah.
Also, I think that was a good mixture back then. With when I met the guys, they were quite into Anthrax and Slayer, and I liked that as well. But it didn't. That was not anywhere near my style of singing, my voice. So we had this fine combination, which worked out very well.
How was the Norwegian scene back then in the 80s? Were there other bands known to the outside? Because in the 90s it became really huge with all the black metal stuff. And so what was in the 80s? What was happening there, rock-wise, metal-wise?
In the 80s, there were a few bands. We had in our town, in Sarpsborg in Norway, there were 2 metal bands back then, and both of them are still playing. So we are doing a gig with them later this year.
What's the name of the band?
Witchhammer.
Witchhammer, of course. Yeah.
I think the only Norwegian band back then that made it outside was TNT.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Weren't they from Denmark?
From Norway.
From Norway.
Yeah, I remember from Norway.
Okay.
And then you had, of course, Mayhem, which was
the
black metal
they were
thing,
up and coming.
But they were besides our kind of music then.
Yeah, the fact that you still use your pseudonyms on stage names instead of your original names it still shows to me that you guys don't take yourselves too seriously, I guess. Or why is that?
No,
it's easier for people to remember the names in English, I guess.
Back then, opposite to now, if we were to sign a contract with an American label today, they would demand us to keep our Norwegian and Icelandic names because it's cool. Back then we had orders from Metal Blade. You guys have to take English American names.
This came from the label.
Yeah,
okay,
it did. So well, if it's on the poster, nobody cares. I mean, and if real names are on the poster, it's just as well. We're under no pressure right now, and we just do this for fun and some beers and money.
Yeah. And the cocaine and the naked girls, of course.
Of course.
Say no more.
What do you think about this geezer fest here called Keep It True?
I'm amazed.
No, I'm joking.
I'm amazed. There's so many. It's like going back 3 decades, actually. Yeah. So I never experienced something like this before. I've been to festivals, but this is more how it was back then.
Yeah, it's like a time capsule.
Yeah, it is.
Doing the time warp.
Yeah. Are there any bands here you wanted to see for ages and they're playing yesterday or today? Some favorites?
Not too many, actually. We were here yesterday and we saw Rock Goddess and Tokyo Blade and Ross the Boss, which was tremendous.
Fate's Warning is a band I listen to a lot, and I've never seen them live, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for that as well, and to your gig, of course. I never saw you live, by the way.
Okay, now it's time.
You got another thing coming.
Maybe the reason I never saw you live is because you didn't tour very much back then.
I think you're right there.
No, that's maybe one of the main reason things happened like they did, because we didn't tour almost at all.
No.
We did one minor tour in Norway back in '99, and then we just did some gigs on Iceland, one in Sweden, I think, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, of course, if we had toured much more, maybe did a small European tour or something like that, maybe things would have happened some other directions.
I think we have to admit that we were a bit stupid when it comes to, like, we had incredible reviews from Kerrang, Metal Hammer, top reviews, and we were in our rehearsing place, and we were figuring money. This is
and fame.
We're gonna be rich, but that's not how the business is. We should have hired a van. We should have gone down to Europe. We should have gone to the States, living on bread and water, and doing some gigs. That's the only way to survive.
But it's all coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know. Maybe you weren't here. When you had a real breakthrough back then, maybe we wouldn't stand here and talk. Maybe we would like disband at some point, and yeah.
So we live in this doubt. What if we had done it? Had it made any difference? Today we just enjoy coming together, and one major factor is that in this band everybody's tremendously good friends. There's no battle. There's no question about anything about moral. How do we do it? We always agree to what we're going to play. So it's just great time.
Have a good time all the time.
It's funny, all the bands I interviewed are saying the same thing. They're just older, they're mature, they are laid back, they have time, they don't have to do this all, and they just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think that's the point. You don't have to. So
Isn't life good?
Yeah, it is. Will there be another record? Maybe, but the last one is like. What is this?
91?
25 years?
Yeah.
91. Yeah. Is there something in the pipeline?
Must admit, we are at the moment talking about this, and if we get to the point that we write some riffs, we have like 10 songs. If we think it's good enough, then it might happen. But we are critical to ourselves. It would have to be something that is worthwhile. If we get something like, it's not as good as another return of For the Sake of Mankind, I think we'll just stay quiet. But don't give up the hope.
Yeah,
that's the message.
We won't.
It's good.
It's good if you won't give up the hope as well.
It's always exciting to make music, so we'll make it a go anyway.
Yeah, we'll have a go at it, but no promises, mate.
Cool thing. So nice to have you here. We're looking forward for the gig, and yeah, ARTCH from Norway.
Thanks.